Okay. And so, let me just zip back to the slides. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so we have a few objectives today. Our first is a review of the Texas AEL standards and key terms. And we are going to do that by participating in a standards sort. So we're going to let you guys experiment with identifying which proficiency levels some of the benchmarks belong to. The second objective is we're going to unpack some of those same standards with Dr. Langman by analyzing them and connecting them to benchmarks. Our third objective is to create a standards-based lesson plan by employing a backwards design approach. So that's the methodology that we'll be modeling for you today, is how to create lesson plans in that fashion. And then the fourth is actually to present that same lesson plan model by sharing with your peers. So that's sort of the ultimate metacognitive activity, is how will you then model this for your colleagues. All right, so our schedule today is from 9 to 9:30, we'll be doing introductions. And then for the hour after that, that's where we'll dig into those standards a little bit, review some of them, and talk some background information and key terms. Then we'll have a break. Then we will talk about the standards and benchmarks from 10:45 till noon. Then most importantly, lunch. And then in the afternoon, that's where you'll really get into more of the application of some of the information with the standards-based lesson plan, and then presenting what you've created. And then at the end, we'll talk a little bit about the webinar preparation and participation. All right, sound good? Yes, all right. Long day, but we'll keep you engaged, though. It will seem shorter. All right, so for introductions, if we could start out, we're going to use a strategy that I think many of you have used before, right? Has everyone used this before in the classroom? Yes. Okay, has anyone not used it? All right, so we're going to switch it up, because what's the typical application of two truths and a lie? Liz, do you want to tell us?
You have to provide 3 statements, and 2 of those statements are true, and 1 of them is not true, but all 3 statements would seem highly likely possible responses as to what might be what the participant.
Right, like something about them. And it's often personal, right? So we use it as an icebreaker or more of a getting to know you activity. So because I had a feeling you had heard this before, what I wanted to do was model it as actually a content strategy, because a lot of the adult English standards are based around content. So what I'd like you to do is actually write what you consider to be 2 truths and a lie about adult ESL education. All right, so what do you think are 2 truths and a lie about adult ESL? So take a few minutes and write them on your paper. And then when we're finished, then I'll ask you to say your name and what are your 2 truths and a lie, and we'll try to guess, okay? Oh, and if anyone needs scratch paper, or maybe let's put some on the table, how about? Do my own. I'll just put it up here. Oh, there's only 1 paper.
Do we have half-truths as well?
That's- Are there two truths and a lie? Oh, Langman. Langman. Oh, yeah, UA is Y-U-E.
I got it right.
Good job. Well done. All right. These are. All right, look up at me if you're finished. Okay, so a few people are still writing. Okay, it looks like most people are finished, so I'll get started. Also, just so you know, oh, come on in. There is a sign-up sheet on the table, and then if you want to come to one of the tables up front, that would be great. There's room. And also, just as we progress, because we are taping this session for people who couldn't make it, UA might come and just take a picture of what you wrote as you share around, if you don't mind. If you do mind, just let her know. But your names aren't on it, so it won't be publicly distributed or anything. Okay, so I will model how we'll do it. So you'll stand up, you'll say your name, or you don't have to stand up, but say your name and where you're from. So I'll say, I'm Kristen, I'm from San Antonio, and my two truths and a lie are adult ESL is standards-based. Adult ESL program indicators are protected by law in 1991. And adult ESL is easier to teach than K-12 ESL. So which one is my lie? You think the last one? Okay, how come?